friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin' Up demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Halloween Spooktacular week number 2. We're going to be creating this card here. Now this is also my card for the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle for August using the Frightfully Fun Suite. It's really great. It's an online exclusive. All the Halloween products pretty much are in the online exclusives section this year for Stamping Up, and yeah, this is just one of the 12 cards. Now you can get your hands on the whole 12 card tutorial bundle by shopping with me in my online store. There is a link in the description of this video. You can also purchase it if you're already shopping with another demonstrator or you're outside of Australia. You can purchase that bundle tutorial for a quick download. It's instant download once you've paid for it. So I'll pop in the graphic here so you can see what it is. It is a great tutorial and I know that you're going to love it. Okay, so we are using the Frightfully Fun Suite, which is the Oh My Fright bundle. So it's this one here. I'm also using the Swirls of Magic embossing folder. This is a 3D huge embossing folder. The embellishments are the adhesive backed bats, ghosts and dots embellishments, which is so cool. Look at these bats and ghosts, and then we've got just white and black dots. And we've also got the Frightfully Fun 12x12 DSP, which is great. You saw this one last week. There's bats, there's ghosts, there's cats. It's super cute. And then that's one side, and then the other side, all pumpkin pie, basic grey, basic black, timid tiger and very vanilla are the colours, the coordinating colours in this suite. So that's that one there. Alright, let's bring the card back in, and I'm going to bring in the supplies needed to create this card, which are just here, and another piece. So I have my card base, which is basic white thick. It is the normal standard size here in Australia, so half a piece of A4. I can't give the measurements out because it is part of the bundle tutorial, but know that it's easy enough to work out these tutorial measurements if you want to recreate that or get as close to as possible. This piece here, we're actually going to pop through the embossing folder, so let's bring that up. I'm going to run that one through my machine in just a second, and then we are going to do some stamping on this piece of basic white. So before we run this through, because we want to do all the things at once, we're going to do our stamping first. So I don't think I told you, the inks we're using on today's card are basic grey and pumpkin pie. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping, and then we can do all our die cutting. So hopefully you're enjoying this week's Halloween Spooktacular. If you haven't seen last week's, please go and have a look. So we just stamped our little ghost from that stamp set in basic grey. I'm also going to bring in the big bat. So there's a trio of bats and then there's a larger bat, and I'm going to need some scrap paper. I'm going to do some quick stamping off. Just trying to think if this card or another card, and I don't think I'm stamping off with this one. It's something else that I'm thinking of. So we're going to need 3. Yeah, okay, we didn't stamp off. We need 3 bats in the basic grey, like so. Actually, I'm going to do another one and we'll place him inside the card. And then I'm going to grab my pumpkin pie ink and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is Trick or Treat, which again is from that stamp set. So as you can see, I've got a big bit of basic white here that we're not using everything for our stamping, but this little guy here is just from the die set, and I wanted to make sure that we had enough room to get that nice and easy as well. Okay, let's bring in our cut and emboss machine, and we're going to do some quick die cutting and our embossing as well. So let me know, do you create a lot of Halloween projects? And are you going to be doing any of the cards that I've actually shared with you throughout the Halloween Spooktacular? I know this is only the second week, so you may not. So we've got our little ghost here that's going to be die cut there. I've got our bat die cut, and I also need my ghost. So in the die set we have a large tree, we have a cat die cut, we have the cat with the witch's hat, we've got some clouds, we've got some stars, the trio of bats, some more little stars, we've got a large tag as well, and this will create little holes for treat bags and things like that as well, if you want to use that. Okay, let's run this one through. Once I have them all lined up. The other thing that we're going to need once we're popping all this card together is just a little tiny bit of scrap of basic black, just for behind this ghost die cut. His eyes show, so we want to sort of cover that up. Goes down. I'm going to run that back through this way. And we've just got to run through those 4 bats. So I'll fasten this up so you don't have to see how slow this is. So we have all our die cut pieces done. Let's run this one through. And I think I said it was a 3D embossing folder. It's not, it's just a regular embossing folder. So you just take the platform to, or the plate 2 off. Okay. We have, look how well this embosses. So pretty. What we're going to do to pop this card together, this is one piece. We're actually going to chop this down a little bit with our paper trimmer, because it was easier to just emboss one piece rather than 2. So we need to cut this one at 2.5. Gives us those 2 pieces. Alrighty. And before we start assembling, we could leave these white, which, let me show you, still looks pretty great. And once we add our little ghosts on, but we want to make it dirty and brown, grey, and look like a frightful night. That's what we're going to do. So I've got my blending brushes here. I'm also using the basic grey ink. You could also use Memento and make it a little bit more black. Honestly, I think the basic grey still looks really good. So I want to sort of add a lot more depth or colour to the edges. And then we're going to bring the colour into the centre. Now it's always going to add a little bit more colour to the raised part. And honestly, I think I probably need to add a little bit more ink to my pad, because it doesn't feel very juicy, but it depends on how juicy your pad is. But as you can see, it really doesn't take that long either. And I love that extra colour on the raised area. Okay, let's do a small piece. And this is actually one that works really well for me because I have a heavy hand, and that's the sort of look we're after anyway. So if you have a heavy hand like I do, this one's perfect for you. A little bit more colour on that, some of those raised pieces. Lovely. All right. Now we're just going to grab all our pieces, and this is going to come together really, really fast because we've got pretty much everything ready. I do need to grab my sentiment piece and also a scrap piece of basic black. Got a whole heap of scraps on my desk, but not little pieces, which is so unusual, isn't it? Oh, hang on, there's one. Look how much that is a scrap, and that's going to be perfect for what we want. So I just need to, on our little die cut ghost, I need to add a little bit of black behind the eyes. Perfect. All right, let's add a little bit of adhesive there to pop that down. And because where we're sticking it, you do want that black to sort of stick up a little bit. Okay. Okay. We're also going to grab our paper trimmer and just cut this down. So it's nice and even. Like so. Okay, let's start popping everything together. Now, the easiest way I found it was we want to actually adhere our DSP down first, but the trick is to make sure that you get good placement on either side. So you need it to be centered in the center of your card, but you also want to cover up the edges so there's not a huge gap of overlap. So there we go, that is going to be perfect. So I can move these out of the way. I've kept my finger here, and this is honestly the easiest way of doing it. Adding a little bit of adhesive down, and then on the other side as well. This is underneath our embossed section, so it doesn't have to be glued perfectly down on all the corners. Because this is going to go over the top. Now these pieces are going to be added with dimensionals because that's giving a little bit of a pop-up and really showcasing that beautiful DSP underneath. So we're just going to add dimensionals and put 6 on this one, and that keeps that middle section from being from bowing and sagging as well. I'm actually going to stick another one in the center there. Okay, and we can pop these ones down as well. As soon as I saw this embossing folder, I actually thought of Harry Potter. To me, that's what it reminds me of. So if you're have friends or family who love Harry Potter, I think this embossing folder would work so well with a Harry Potter card, or maybe Harry Potter scrapbooking. So we're just going to line those edges, making sure that we have good coverage and even on each side, and it marries up on the side as well. Okay. Perfect. Now we're going to adhere our sentiment down like so. And I think that little pop of pumpkin pie really does pop perfectly. For our little ghost here, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive at the top, but I'm going to add a Stampin' Dimensional to the bottom part of the ghost, because we're sticking him down on 2 different layers here. So like so. And then this little ghost is going to go over the top, and of course we're going to use more dimensionals on this ghost. So if you create Halloween projects, whether they be cards or 3Ds, what is your favorite Halloween image? Is it a ghost? Is it bats? Is it spiders? I suppose, you know, we all do different things, but I know in previous years, I'm actually going to just use the edges here. In previous years, they've had, Stampin' Up! Have had cute witches, which have been really cute. I honestly have only recently really enjoyed creating with Halloween, because it's not really celebrated here in Australia, but I do really like creating Halloween projects. Okay, so I've added dimensionals to each of these little bats here, and we're going to add them down to the card. I love the grey and black look, and then that little pop of pumpkin pie. Okay, so this is the finished area of the front. I'm just going to add some little white dots, and then we're going to just actually do some stamping on the inside of the card as well. So I'm going to stick one here. You could also use a ghost or a bat. I just thought that I need to use these white and black dots as well, because yeah, otherwise I'll have all those. Okay, so in the sentiment, or in the stamp set, there's other sentiments. There's Boo to You, Happy Halloween. We're going to use Happy Halloween for the inside, and I'm going to do that with pumpkin pie. So let's open this up. Happy Halloween. And we're going to add one of our little die cuts here. Now I could have just stamped the bat as well on the inside of the card, and that would look just as pretty. In that set, there's also little stars, so we're going to bring in the basic grey and just add them down as well. Perfect. And that's our week 2 Halloween Spooktacular. Very, very simple card. This is part of the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle for August, using the Frightfully Fun Bundle. Like I said, you can get this whole bundle absolutely free by placing an order in my online store this month, or you can purchase the tutorial bundle. The link is in the description of this video. But this is week 2. I really hope that you've enjoyed Halloween Spooktacular this week, and I'll be back next week as well, so come back for that one. If you've enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button, share this video with your friends and family, and you know, leave me a comment. I would love it if you left me a comment and let me know what you enjoyed about today's card. Alright everyone, I'll be back next week for week 3. Come back and join me then. Until then, have an amazing day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!